See. It says that Roy formally resigns from the board, and Patti states that the board cannot remain on the board as per bylaw rules, but it should really reflect that the board recognized the automatic vacancy instead. That was my point number 3. It also does not mention anything about the member petition that I also submitted for point 4.
What is the member petition?
It was to use if board did not recognize his automatic vacancy. So the petition was to call a special meeting for the members, and then we were going to vote him out or attempt to vote him out. Since Patti recognized his vacancy from his non-property ownership, the petition was mute. It was not used. And so I took back the signatures because the members are a little bit afraid of things. So anyway, petition was mute. It wasn't used. And so I took the signatures back.
Okay.
I asked this a question a second. And all of this that you put here in this memo, is this from the dialogue or from the written packet?
Both
Okay.
of them. And it doesn't show that I attached or requested to add the packet to it.
Okay, so do I have anybody on the board that wants to adopt these additions that are brought to us today?
I move that we adopt this memo to the minutes for the March meeting.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, all opposed? I'm opposing only because I feel I haven't really had the time to go through and therefore adopt them to the minute.
I haven't read the whole thing.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. This would have been lovely to have had earlier. So therefore I have 2 and 2. Mark, where are you at? Right now.
I'm still reading this current draft. Roy formally resigns from the board. Did we hear Roy actually say, that's it? I quit. I'm done.
That's what it says in the minutes, and she's correcting it here.
Okay, we're correcting it with this. Okay. Thank you.
Roy?
I don't know how they got into the minutes because I never resigned. I get Felix on the video verifying that I never resigned twice.
It was very, very difficult to transcribe these minutes. Our connection was bad, the sound was bad, and a lot of dialogue was garbled, and it was hard to tell to whom it should be attributed. And so there are going to be errors.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whatever, I'm sorry, what Roy pointed out, that wasn't my words. That was
Sure.
from the February.
Yeah, and I will point out the minutes do have a big question mark after it says Roy formally resigns from the board, ? Meaning even Patti going through everything afterwards wasn't 100% sure what occurred there. Okay. So because we don't have, oh yes, Felix.
I was there. I didn't hear him say he resigned, to be honest. That's when I brought it up out loud.
Mm-hmm.
But then after a while, she came back and said that he formally resigned to her. I don't know, but I never heard him say it out loud to everybody else.
Okay. So thank you, Felix. And so the motion to add these to the minutes, currently we do not have a majority, therefore it fails. For the March, to add these to the February minutes.
You're saying it won't be corrected? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that this packet you've asked to have added to the February minutes, and I said it won't be added to the February minutes. It didn't get adopted. I don't know that yet.
I think we have to.
I mean, yeah, if she's accurate, we have to. We haven't had a chance to vet any of this. That's why I can't vote for it. All right. Not because I don't believe it. I just haven't had a chance to vet it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
When
Thank
should the decision be made then?
The only time we can make our next decision would be at the next board meeting.
When the February minutes are.
They haven't been approved yet either, the February minutes. So, because of the questions in place, anyone wish to, I forget where we're at on that motion, a few happen in between. So I'm going to ask for a new motion on accepting or not accepting the February minutes as Claudia has presented them to us.
I move that we defer approval of the minutes until the April meeting.
Okay, do I have a second of that? Christi, all in favor? Deferring the approval of those minutes till our March, or April meeting.
Until April.
Yes, of the February minutes. All in favor of that motion? It carries. Okay. You bet. Okay. Oh, here's where, and awesome, sir. Yeah, that the asterisk just means you'd like some time. Very good. All right, looking through our list right now, I have Ditas, back to you again.
Give to the board and the approach.
Sure.
Okay, and I know I have 2 minutes. So good morning, my name is Ditas Fleck. I'm a member in good standing, representing members in good standing, and I have 2 issues that I'd like to place into the record this morning. Issue number 1, we understand the board is considering voting Roy Lee in as an associate member in order to appoint him as road crew chairman. That strategy does not work, and here's why. Our formal notice of reasoning has been given to the board and is in front of you. So Article 8, Section 4B of the bylaws requires that road committee members at large own a lot in Fern acres. Associate membership does not change that. Article 2, Section 5 allows associate membership for those without property, but Article 8, Section 4B specifically requires lot ownership for the road committee position. Associate membership cannot override that specific requirement either. Article 8, Section 4J is equally clear. The road crew chairman can only be appointed from existing members of the road committee. Roy cannot be chairman without first being on the committee. He cannot be on the committee without owning a lot, and so the path is blocked at both ends. The board wants to change these requirements. That requires a formal bylaw amendment under Article 12, which requires a 2/3 vote of members at a duly called membership meeting. Or a board policy vote is not sufficient. Issue number 2, Roy Kali'i has been observed in the FACA office taking payments from members and accessing member records. He has no director seat, no staff role, no authorized basis to be there. Our own policies and procedures state that members' PII, personally identifiable information like name, addresses, and banking information is accessible only to the office manager, the bookkeeper, and the board president. Roy Kali'i is none of those. The policy is explicit. Member information should not be made available to unauthorized persons. Under Hawaii Revised Statute 487N, what is happening may constitute a reportable security breach. If the board does not immediately remove Roy Kali'i from the office and revoke his access to member records, this will be reported to the Hawaii Office of Consumer Protection and the AG. I'm formally requesting that the formal position statement and formal notice in front of you be attached to the records today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's exactly 2 minutes. Hold on. Roy, go ahead.
I have no access to people's information. I don't know who's saying that they saw me accessing that because I cannot access nobody's information. All I do is make their payment. That's it. If they present an invoice, then I go based on the invoice, the information. The computer in there is not accessible to that information other than I can look on the website of Hawaii County Property Tax Office. That's the only way that I can reference people's, I guess, lot numbers so that I can make sure that their lot number matches up with the receipt that I give them back.
Okay. Thank you. Christi?
When I came to pay my bill, Roy insisted he was not looking at the computer. I showed him that I had a credit that did not appear on any of my accounts. I could hear him typing. He said, "You're right. I don't see that credit on any of your accounts. I'm sorry that that happened. It is in my writing. It is my, it didn't get put by the bookkeeper as a credit." And he credited me for this year. Obviously, that information is not found on TMK or on the county tax website or anything like that. Why would those departments know that I have a credit at Fern?
Okay.
And we have had several people volunteer to just sit out front, write receipts for people to make their payments. And he says that's not allowed. He says he's a volunteer and he can be here if he wants to because you can't stop people from volunteering, but yet he is stopping everybody from volunteering. I mean, to take someone's payment and write them a receipt I mean, or accept an envelope if the people don't want us to see their banking information. You know, write a receipt that I took this envelope from this person. I mean, nobody can pay their bills because the office is never open. And I really think that that needs to be fixed. Please.
Yes, and hold on, Roy, and you are part of the Policy and Procedures Committee, and I think you're aware that's been looked at?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
The only way I knew that she had a credit on them because she gave me her invoice from last year. That's how I knew I had the credit on them. So me clicking on the computer is not looking at that information. She gave me her last year's invoice prior to me even doing anything. So I told her that I referencing her last year's invoice which showed the credit. So that's why the credit was applied to her receipt.
Okay. Oh, I
And
thought
as
your hand
far
was
as-
up. No.
And as far as disallowing people from coming into the office, I never did tell nobody that no can come in the office.
Okay. Any other comments on this? Okay. Oh, yes. Mhm.
So I appreciate that the intention may be to help with Roy volunteering, but our policies and procedures do not have a volunteer exception for access to member information.
Yeah, he says he wasn't,
There's no
Yeah.
access to it.
yeah, he said he wasn't accessing it.
He has a history of lying also.
You too?
Really, prove one.
When you said that you could squash the beef that we get between each other, and it's obvious you never squash it.
Yeah, because I heard you on.
Okay, guys,
This is
you know what?
over.
Yeah, this isn't gonna produce anything. Oh, you did not sign in, Patty? Is this directly to this? Oh, I looked, I didn't see a star next to your name that you wanted time. Okay, yes, go ahead, Patty, go ahead.
That somebody can log into the computer to see what he can see.
Is there some way that, I'm sorry, I missed that part of it.
One of you guys can log into the computer to see what he can see. He says he can't see. I think he can see because I've seen QuickBooks. I know that if you look at a lot number, it has information on it. It doesn't just give lot numbers and names, it gives everything. And so I'm questioning whether he's really just seeing.
Okay, thank you.
And you guys can prove it by going and looking yourselves.
Thank you. Okay, anything else on this one? If not, I see that James, you can't read the last name, Franco. James Franco, you asked for some time, please, sir. Yeah, 2 minutes.
15.5 in the bylaw. Anyone meeting all of the requirements of membership except for property ownership may be preferred associate membership status by a majority vote of the board of directors. Now, how was Roy being put in here in the first place? Wasn't it by the majority vote of board of directors?
Yeah, to answer that, okay, just because you have 2 minutes, do you have anything else you'd like to say before I start taking your time?
Yeah, and any vote by the majority of the board of directors to kick him out has to be done by the majority vote of the board of directors.
Mm-hmm. You're correct. Okay,
Right here.
all right, thank you, James.
I'm trying to see highlights in this.
Yeah, no, I think that's
By
wonderful.
bylaw, yeah.
Yeah, because so you do point out that they do not have to be a lot owner if given an associate membership to still enjoy the privileges.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So how
thank
is he
you.
here in the first place? By that
yeah.
ruling.
Except in fairness, I will disclose, we never made him an associate member. All right, that's, I think, that's the problem. Is we never made him associate member. He was never by lot ownership, not name.
And also, states about doing the job and all best interest for the community in this bylaw. And I've never heard anything said against him on the job in other meetings that he didn't do as far as the job, except for not owning a lot.
You're correct. He meets every standard, except we've never done it. So I agree with you wholeheartedly, but we have never made it a formal associate membership. Okay, so I think her hand was up first, and so then I'll come over to you.
So we don't doubt that his experience with the roads and we're not questioning his work and his volunteerism and his good deeds, right? But experience and the needs of the community do not override the bylaws. The board's job is to follow the governing documents, and those documents have clear eligibility requirements for director. Associate member does not qualify him to be a director.
Actually, it would. It says that he would enjoy all privileges, not select privileges.
Eligibility for director is separate from
It
associate.
doesn't say that.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So just like,
Okay. Now, Julia, you had your hand up, so please.
Really, by current bylaws, right, from the revisions we're going to do, you can't just take one part of it, you have to use it with the membership. And to be a member, you have to own a lot. You know, to be a member in good standing, which, you know, associate members, do not, own lots. So even if we were to make him an associate member, doesn't own a lot, can't be a member, even as an associate member, he can't be a member in good standing, which are the requirements to be on the board of directors, as well as to chair committees. Our bylaws do say that if you are interpreting them correctly, because you just can't use one section, you have to use whole section.
Correct. Except it does say specifically, except ownership of a lot. It distinctly separates that piece out. And so because of that, that's exactly what they were trying to say, is that somebody who's really helpful to the community can still continue to help at all levels within the community. Okay, yes, again.
I would just like to state my opinion on associate member, because to have an associate member should not be a director. The reasoning is they don't have skin in the game. They don't own property. So why would you have a director make decisions for the community in regards to road fees, anything, but they themselves not have skin in the game? They themselves do not own property in this community.
That's a bylaw thing. That's not us. Yeah.
I
So I think, okay, Frank, yeah, and the policy committee is actually currently, that's exactly what they're working on.
In response to what you just said, there's a honorary membership in section 6 that anyone, you read it, can sit on the board of directors. And anyone can have their opinion, and if you read it, it says right there, honorary membership.
Sure. The difference with that is he doesn't get a vote, even if it's a non-voting position.
And he doesn't have to own a property either.
That's correct. It could be anybody.
May I speak to this a little bit?
Patty?
We are working on clarifying the bylaws about membership and associate membership. But the spirit of the associate membership acknowledges that if you are a renter and live here, or a household member that is not a member of the association, you still have skin in the game. And it wants to acknowledge that there are people in that status who may be full participants in the well-being of the community.
Okay. I think that we might have covered this sufficient. Our policy committee. Okay.
You just said that, they don't have any voting rights.
Honorary members. That's correct.
But the directors have all voting rights to everything. But
That's correct.
so he does have voting rights. That's it.
Well, we're starting to, we're starting to get into there's members, then there's board, and then there's associate, and then there's honorary, and it starts to get a little confusing. Yeah, honorary is usually reserved for, like, maybe you have your city council member comes to visit, almost like giving them a key to the city. Hey, we'd like to make you an honorary member of. He'd never be able to vote on the board. If he wanted to come and sit next to Christi over here and take this seat, we'd honor that. It's an honorary member, but it has nothing beyond just the trappings of, hey, thank you for all you do.
That's why I'm just trying to bring up. This guy say he doesn't, honorary member does not have no voting right, but a director does.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's a
Oh.
big right there.
So I've had several hands. Roy, I think you're next. Okay, then I go over to Brian.
volunteer fire captain for five for Hawaiian Acres. He was at their last meeting, made an honorary
Yeah,
for that meeting.
yeah, exactly. It's just kind of that little bit of public acknowledgement. Yeah, back over here.
So we, the members, don't have any issue with Roy becoming associate member. Fine. The issue is if you're trying to use associate member to place him on the road committee. That is my issue, and that was what I was discussing in my statement.
Okay, thank you. And you keep saying we. Are you? Well, no. Well, yeah, but who's the we? You keep saying we. Oh, okay. We do the same. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I do say anyway. Go ahead, Roy. Do you have something else?
These people are in good standing. Are they really in good standing? Only because membership ends December 31st, and if you now pay your road fees or your membership prior to that packet being presented to the board, that makes that form, unless it's proven invalid.
He's mentioning the petition that was given to the board last month.
Mm-hmm.
But as I stated earlier, that the petition was not used. So whatever he's talking about signatures has no standing to anything.
Well, we're all getting hung up here on word games a little bit, and so you do want him to entertain in good standing, and that. No, okay, then
Member signatures.
I'm going to move on because I don't see this as productive. Okay, I think that we've covered this topic well enough. I see lots of hands up, but if it's directly, Okay, I didn't see whose hand was up first, so I'm just going to go with Patti.
Make you all believe that because you're not paid up before January 1st, you're not paid up, which is false, which we have till the end of March to pay up. We have the end of March to pay up, and the office didn't mail it before
Okay.
December.
I did acknowledge I did acknowledge we're doing a lot of wording here.
Opportunity to pay. So don't try to put some
Okay,
restrictions on people not.
thank you, Patti. George?
I'm curious because I know there is, I absolutely understand both sides with the wording in the bylaws. And I'm curious, my understanding that this is not the first time that this has happened, that this is the third non-property owner that has been on the board and the head of the road crew. So I'm curious if that's true. I don't know if it's true, but if that's true, why has this wording not been changed or amended already in the past to deal with this issue? Because clearly precedent is the history of our community is that we put progress above property ownership. So I feel like we have the precedent to make the bylaws clarify the will of the community over decades. Am I wrong?
No, and that's why it's finally been referred to committee. What's happened in the past when other people have done it all? I won't use a name, but I will speak to the most recent one before Roy. It came up in the middle of a board meeting. One of the directors said to one of the others and said, "Well, you're just a renter." And my ear perked up and I went, "Hold on here." And rather than dismiss him from the board immediately, pulling out bylaws that we could have done, right? We just acknowledged, gosh, that was an oversight on our part, their part, because guys, when you guys have read the bylaws just like I have, there's no formal procedure to vet anybody. Okay, that's something we are now, that's why we're working on it, okay? And so as soon as we realized that, the board agreed, we did still want to retain this person, made him an associate member by majority vote, and he could continue to serve in that. It wasn't like anyone was trying to be tricksy. Nobody was trying to take away the voice of the people. It was a procedural error that got corrected. Now this one, people seem to be very unforgiving for the same procedural error that has been done twice over. I'm still speaking, thank you. And that we are, we can't go back and use that now. Legal action has been taken. Okay, that's fine. But that also means that we are going to be limited on how we can respond to much of this because of that legal action. And because of that, I think I'm going to shut this down at this point for this one. I think we've covered it sufficiently. I can't go into much more of it. We are dealing with it. It's in the hands of our attorney at this point. Okay. There are things though that we can do. I don't have any other public comment that was listed to be spoken at this time. So I'm going to move on and move to the president's portion of the meeting. Because of this and because of what's been pointed out and because of some of the uncertainty from last meeting, we do need to address Roy Khalili's membership on the board. Okay. It's still uncertain if he resigned, though people claim and sufficient have that he didn't actually resign, or if the board might have dismissed without a vote. Okay. And so we have to take action on this to follow the bylaws. And as such, I'm going to make the difficult because I know how much Roy works for this community outside of, yeah, he rubs people wrong sometimes, but because of his efforts in the community, it pains me that I must make the motion to dismiss Roy as a director of this board. Do I have a second?
I will second.
All in favor? Okay. Then that makes us 4-1. Any opposed? Mark, would you like to oppose? Thank you. This does in no way, I hope, lessen the value of what Roy has done in the community outside of what just this board. Okay. But at this time, Roy is officially dismissed as a member of this board. Thank you for your past service, Roy. Okay. With that, also, I need to add to the agenda. Things got a little crazy out of order here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there, Hank.
To make a motion to make Roy an associate member.
Yeah,
of the association.
Okay. Do I have a second willing to adopt that?
I would second that.
Okay. Then I will call the vote. All in favor? Okay. It carries. Roy, you're an associate member. You bet. Thank you for your continued service. All right, guys, I do need to make an addition to the agenda. I move that we had an executive session. We have information we need to transmit or share with the remaining board members that has to go with, on with legal action. That's we will make no decisions. For everybody who doesn't know what an executive session is, it's a period of set time. We're going to take a 15-minute, not now, at the end of the meeting. Before we adjourn, we will step away for 15 minutes, probably go just back in that oddly smelly little room, and something's wrong in there. But and we will meet for 15 minutes. We can make no decisions or actions. No votes can be cast during that period of time. We will come out if we need to take action at that point afterwards. We will, and then we will adjourn the meeting after that. But I'm just saying we need to. I became aware of some information that I need to share with the board members. Do I have a second to add the executive session? Okay, thank you, Hank. All in favor? Okay, it's unanimous and carries. All right. Now, guys, we now have 3 vacancies on the board. The bylaws ask that we, by majority vote of the members of the board, that we can appoint somebody who has interest and is qualified to serve on the board. We've had some interest expressed to us already. Anybody who at this point would like to be considered to fill one of those vacancies, please so indicate. Okay, I have Roy raising his hand. Any others? I believe I had some names. I think Vivian, Julia, I think Layla, Felix. Okay. All right. Well, we normally don't have this much interest, and so we're going to ask a few questions and of those that are interested. And so we've got to make a decision as a board as to who we can select. And we do not have to fill them all today. Actually, the current bylaws say he enjoys all privileges. Even if he doesn't own property, it's all privileges.
Opinion taken to the lawyer? Did the lawyer state that?
Actually, it was the lawyer who first said you vote him in as an associate and he'll be in good standing. I don't know about that because I don't know that I haven't just.
Notes that we haven't received yet with the lawyer's, communication.
Should that be?
The secretary has it. Do you have that?
Guys, I think the question should come up if Roy is voted onto the board. I think then we have that. If he doesn't, then, I think we're getting ahead of that a little. Okay. I don't know. I can't speak for what these guys are going to do. We've been dealing with a lot on this. Okay. I wasn't even here at the last meeting when this occurred or the beginnings of this occurred. So I can only move forward as procedure dictates. And so I'm going to, if I could, I'm going to start with Layla. Layla, we'd like to, as a board, guys, we don't want to drag this out. So if everybody could limit themselves to just one question each that we'd like to ask each candidate, I just don't want to, so you guys can feel like you have somewhat an informed ability to make this decision. Just because I'm starting this, I'll throw out a question and just so the other members that are the other candidates, I'm going to ask the exact same question. I'll just give you the heads up so you can start thinking about it now. Okay. Layla, what is it you've seen that the board has been doing that you'd like to see corrected or improved in the future?
For anyone that doesn't know me, my parents bought property here in 1990 and grew up here in the Fern Acres. So I'm very happy to be back here living the last several years. I think the board has a very hard job. You guys often have a thankless role. Why I've been involved and what I think you guys could be doing better is really the communications with the public. Right now, we just rely on a printed newsletter once, maybe twice a year, depending on your membership. And there's so many people, obviously, why they've been showing up more that don't know what's going on, don't understand the procedures or, the organization itself. I'm still learning even after being at meetings for the last year or so. So communicating is much better. I do appreciate you guys voting to get this camera, and people have really appreciated the live streams, but having some better information on the website and even on social media where so many people are and taking more of an official stance there is something I think that we could be definitely doing better. There's two other topics I'll bring up really quickly is one, I really want to spearhead. I know there's been lots of talk about it many times, on the road meetings and stuff, is to have our polls labeled better for everyone. I know personally somebody who passed away who could have gotten medical help faster if there was polls labeled better. So I know this was approved at the road committee at one point, not this last one, but the one prior, because there wasn't a quorum of this last one. And then also, I really want us to improve our roads better. I know they're good, but they could be a lot smoother.
Thank you.
The coffee driving down the road.
Thank you, guys. I should have said please limit it to 2 minutes. I didn't say that, and that's why I was finally started to do this on you, but thank you. And anybody else have a question for Layla? Yeah.
Layla, what skills and abilities would you bring?
For the question, Patti, I have the background in communications. I went to UC Berkeley for communications and anthropology, and so I love working with people. I worked for about 15 years with various nonprofits and companies to help with marketing, communications, website development, and even photography and things like that. So I definitely have a communications background, and it would help the board modernize our communications.
Any other questions for Layla? Yes, Hank.
Actually, I believe she already answered, and my question would be redundant because her answer is probably the same.
Oh, well, perfect.
But I can ask the question because I think you've already answered it. What is your reason to seek a position on this board of directors?
Well, I've been a volunteer already, and I really appreciate this community. I grew up here and want to give back and utilize my skills to help support the board and our community, make it safer, make our roads really nice. We all pay enough and deserve to have good roads and safety, specifically with the poll numbers. Yeah.
No other questions. I'll move to the next one. I'm just going to go this way and then meander kind of back that way. So Vivian. Please make a statement first. I didn't let her do that. She did anyway, and that was awesome.
I'm Vivian Tollner. I've lived in the neighborhood for 21 years now. I am retired now and available to serve and to help. That's because of all the controversy. I see a need for a good, strong bookkeeper, treasurer,
Here I am.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So my question you might recall is, you've watched perhaps a little bit the board in action. What is it you see we could improve or do better?
All your numbers need to be looked at, and I'm willing to do that, and, I'll prepare a written treasurer's report for each meeting and be very transparent about the situation.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question for?
Yeah, what are your skills, abilities?
I'm a degree in accounting and 30 plus years of bookkeeping and accounting experience. And I should have brought my resume.
Not that necessary. Thank you. All right. Awesome. Anybody else with a question?
I have the same question.
Okay.
What is your reason for seeking a position on this board?
Well, all this controversy, I see that you need someone with training and ability to step up and become your treasurer and help you guys out. I want to be a help.
Okay. Anybody else with a question? Thank you very much. And over to you, Julia.
Maria, lived in here about 6 years. I have been in healthcare for over 30 years. I've been a practice manager, director of ambulatory services, and currently a manager of quality improvement at a Medicaid plan here in Hawaii. I want to be on the board. I'll answer your question first, Hank, is because I feel there's real change that needs to be done. I have the experience in policy and regulatory reporting. So I joined the policy committee, and I know we are working on many sections for that clarity that people are looking for. I also agree with Layla. Like we need numbers on our poles. I think we need lighting on the poles, solar, what have you, at night. It's hard to see. And I just want our community to not be so divided and so much tension and so much drama. And I think that I could bring, I don't know, I feel I'm a calm person to the board and not to get overreact to things that are being said. We really have to take the people away from the position and look at the policy themselves and if we're following them and not let our emotions get involved in all of this, right? But I just want, a more tighter community. I would love park for our kids and for those of us that want to go walk around a walking path. But like Vivian, I have many years of bookkeeping experience as well. So we know that needs to be cleaned up. But and I've been on 3 different boards, a national board or 2 national boards and a college board. So I do have board experience.
Thank you. She essentially answered my question already. Does anybody else have additional questions?
I don't know. Julie, at a recent Vibrant Hawaii meeting that we had, the point was brought up about the composition of boards. And the point was brought up that if a certain percentage was only allowed to be on both the Fern Acres board and the Vibrant Hawaii board. Has that issue been resolved? Someone was going to look it up. I don't know who it was, but someone was going to check on it to see on that.
Right.
What's the legality of that?
50% on each board of the same directors, right? The schedule, I believe it's a schedule R, needs to be filed, right? For conflict of interest. Claudia said she was going to look that up, but I can do that as well.
You are still a member of the Vibrant Hawaii board.
The hub.
The hub. Yeah, same thing.
The hub, the Vibrant Hawaii. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's actually 2 different things. Vibrant Hawaii is a living organization.
It's a resilience hub with Vibrant. Yeah.
That's Vibrant Hawaii.
So do you see that being, I guess I would follow because I don't know that what I was hearing from Hank got answered.
That information is used.
Okay, so the issue was strictly disclosure of it
I believe
because the point was brought up and
the 990 form that we discussed at the hub meeting. Is that what you were talking about?
no, it was the composition of the boards because they were going to form a new board for the Vibrant Hawaii, and the question was brought up if you could be on both boards and what the percentage of people on one board could be on both boards. And was that issue been taken care of?
Not that I'm aware. I mean, Claudia was gonna look that up, but I'll do some research.
Okay, so that the issue is still open right
I
now
think that's
until we
still
get a definite answer.
I think it,
Okay.
all the research I've read on it is just a conflict of interest, like a disclosure needs to happen.
My reading reflects that you just need to disclose it in every way that is required to disclose it.
Okay, so you don't see that you're serving there to be in conflict. I know many of us do it already, but we were brought up to question that in the last meeting, so I'm asking you now, do you see that on both? If we were to select you to serve with us,
The conflict of interest is serving on both. I mean, it's two different purposes, really, and
sort of said that the other night when we were all sitting in there, that it really wasn't a conflict, you know?
well, my issue is that stuff is closed. The
Okay,
disclosure part is
Okay.
why.
awesome.
My world COI is huge,
Yeah.
right? So, this disclosure.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions for, forgive me, Julia? Okay. No? Okay. Then, okay, okay, sir, if you could direct the questions to the board, please. Yeah, I don't want to turn it into a personal attacks, yeah? For her, yeah.
Yeah. Better in the community and everything. My understanding that the association planning on figuring out to put post office boxes here. What is her output or in feelings on that?
So you don't, Julia, just because, we aren't trying to turn this into everybody gets to ask candidates questions. This isn't a townhouse, okay? But I will ask you, do you feel comfortable answering the question of how, what is your position in trying to bring in post office boxes to the community? You feel comfortable answering, or have you not had time to even consider that? Yes. Yeah, because he wants to know what your thoughts are on it.
What do I feel about post office boxes?
Here.
As long as it doesn't turn into the huge mess that's happened at HPP, that's something that the community would have to come together with if they want post office boxes.
Okay.
That's my
Okay.
feeling on that.
Thank you. And so I saw your head wiggle there for a second, Patty. No, you're not in the running at all? Oh, I thought I saw your name somewhere in that. Okay.
Yeah.
But no, you withdraw basically. Okay. Felix, you're next.
I don't feel it's still clean.
And share the question.
You had a question?
Oh, Felix, so sorry. Yeah.
Question from the audience.
Yes, please direct it up here though, because I'm not trying to ambush our candidates. Yeah.
Are there situations in which our FACA board of directors has to approve situations or grants or requests that Vibrant Hawaii board would also, in other words, is there a hierarchy at all of decision-making which would complicate the situation?
Or if you wish to respond, go ahead. Patty said she'd like to respond.
The board of directors of the Fern Acres Community Association is entirely separate
Right.
from the Punamaka Cow. The goal of Punamaka Cow is to raise grant funds to support this community. Fern Acres, as a 501c4, cannot receive grants.
The way in which we receive grants. But at the same time, then does that mean people will have authority to approve or disapprove?
If on the Punamaka Cow board, they would have the authority to approve grants, but not on the Fern Acres board.
Fern Acres the only time Fern Acres gets involved is if they're going to spend money. For example, when this asphalt was brought in, okay, as an example, we could have, as a board, said no, we want no improvements over here. Okay, we could have prevented the expenditure of money on here, but of course, as you can see, we thought that was best for the community, and so we went ahead and joined hands on that one.
And that was funded by a grant that Punamaka Cow received.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I say something about what Patty had mentioned?
Sure, please.
Patty mentioned that the board of directors of FACA are separate than the board of directors of Macau. And that is true to a sense, but I was wondering if there is a disclosure that the board of directors of Macau is a 50% overlap of the same directors who is also on FACA.
And that's exactly what Julia was,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, we're
So-
working on that.
So right now there is none.
Not a written disclosure.
Isn't that what you're supposed to say?
We will have that.
But right now there's none.
Right.
Okay, and then what is in the MOU
Well, we,
for FACA? Because I understand Cal uses Fern Acres lot. It uses its resources, but there's, I don't see any rent going through in the tax return or anything like that. So I'm just wondering what the MOU has.
Basically, when we buy something that improves this property
Uh-huh.
through funding on Punamaka, it becomes the property of Fern Acres Community Association.
And then that shows the asset is FACA's.
that's correct. That part is.
Reflected in the tax return.
I don't know. I can't answer
Yeah, I'm
that.
sorry. We don't, 1A, have the tax return in front of us, nor are we the ones who prepare those.
I know, but you
Yeah.
thought-
Well, sure, I sign lots and lots and lots of
Okay, but you
things.
should-
Not to the point I can memorize it and disgorge the information on demand.
But, I mean, you should know what,
Can't even tell you my personal tax returns on demand, okay? I certainly don't know this one on demand, okay? So,
in the FACA, or I'll just say it as a statement, because I did look at 2018 through 2024, it's available on the websites, that FACA says no, that there is no relationship that they have with any other tax exempt
Okay.
entity.
so we're gonna move on here without answering, and the reason why is because we're getting a little tangenty here. Yeah, no, where I'm trying to stay with our candidates. So, thank you. Okay, Felix, let's give you your minute finally. Even two if you want. I can tell you sound interesting, yeah.
I just started to run the board. I've been living here for 10 years, 10, 11 years. So started buy another property here. So, I'm the type that I'm neutral. I don't care left, right. I don't know if you guys noticed that. There's I'm for Roy at some points. I'm for the other side. It's just the way I was brought up is, till you prove me wrong, then I mean, gotta bring it out there. Oh, like how the big going where I live. This is not the first board I actually ran for. When I was treasurer for my kids' judo club. I mean, it's a small club, but I've done that. I volunteered for the fire department here for almost the last 10 years. Since I moved here, I was taught that you gotta complain, you should put yourself in there. That's why I put my name out there.
Okay.
Instead of me just complaining, I might as well go out there and try to make improvements.
Thank you. And Felix, I'm gonna ask you, what is it you see we could do better?
She like, she said, the communication here is terrible, to be honest.
Mhm.
It's bad. Like I said, I didn't get my road maintenance fee. I'm sorry I got it on your case last night. I didn't get it. Some people said they got it. I didn't get it. I just want to try to fix that.
You have it yet?
My wife said she got
I did
filed
not.
something. But I just want the communication here better. Like
Okay.
you said, fix our website. It has hardly ever been touched. It's just communicating better.
Okay.
I do own another home on Oahu with an association. You get communication every month, so
Mhm.
I don't know why we can't do it here.
All right, thank you. Any other questions for Felix?
Felix,
already answered that question.
yeah, do you have any particular skills or abilities you would bring to the board?
Well, right now, I've been working with Spectrum for 25 years almost. I'm a supervisor there. I see everybody talking about these road things with the pole things. Me working there, I know it's difficult to put stuff on the pole. There's liability. Actually, I just went to one 2 days ago that they want to sue us. We don't own the poles. Because somebody put something on the pole, somebody got hurt. So now the association put liability on the pole saying they want to put numbers. Somebody that works at Health Goal or Hawaiian Tail got to climb that pole and they get hurt. And we put the signs on there. Guess who they coming after? Association. So I just want everybody to know it's not that hard. Put the numbers on the concrete right there. You can put bigger on the asphalt. Yeah. We own the roads. Why can't we just put it on the road? I mean, Even Rock has it on the road, right in the middle. The whole thing has a number. I don't know why we can't do that yet. Everybody keeps talking about pole. You don't own the poles. Can't say
Thank you, Felix. You're out of time on that question. Sorry. Any other questions for Felix? Yes, Hank.
Actually, I'd like to address Felix's, um, question and his concern, if that's possible.
Sure.
Fire. A little bit. But, yeah, we're not talking about putting numbers on the poles, physical numbers. We're talking about painting them because Helco has already told us that we cannot attach things to their poles that may hinder, climbers or anybody working on the poles. Therefore, we're going to paint them, which won't interfere with any
color
climbing.
codes too, though.
What's that?
There's different color codes that mean things. Like you guys are talking about fluorescent paint.
Right.
A fluorescent orange paint means the pole is damaged. Don't climb that pole.
Okay, well, we have to,
Yeah.
before we do anything, we'll get together with Helco and ask them what color is acceptable. But right now, we're looking at just painting the pole.
So what
Wouldn't
this,
Put any physical, hindrance to them climbing it.
so what this also tells me is an answer to her question. He's already showing one of the areas that we're trying to address, what his skills and knowledge bring to the board. Thank you. Okay, any other questions for Felix? Oh, yeah.
You know, his statements about attaching things to the pole. Everywhere, people putting advertisement signs all over the pole. But if you drive down on Kilauea Avenue in Hilo, the county of Hawaii attaches signs to the telephone pole.
We get approval from Helco before we do that. It's just liability if we climb up there. Like I said, association does it. Who they're gonna come after?
Yeah.
Association.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I think then that moves us over to Roy. Roy, make a statement, please.
Allowed out, want to continue doing what I'm doing, making improvements, positive improvements to our community. I get a lot of comments about how much the community loves our road crew. And I gotta say that the work that my road crew does comes from better leadership and right direction as far as what we need the road crew to do. And as a road chairman, it's my job to provide the road crew with whatever they need, not something that I want. As far as the numbers on the poles, we had a complaint from to Helco. Helco did call the office, and my solution was exactly what Felix said: spray the road. You know, we own the road, so we can spray whatever we like on the road. If we gotta put big numbers, or we put numbers just so that we can keep our community safe and allow our emergency vehicles to find where they need to, as a lot of our geographical positions is based on phone numbers.
Thank you. As far as you know my question already. I've said it. You're the fifth one I'm going to say it to. You've been either part of the board or observed it. What is it we could do better?
Communication is one, yes. We've worked with a few people that volunteered to AI the bylaws so they could be better communicated to the residents, some who cannot read them. So they're putting them in an AI form where you can watch on video and learn the bylaws based on that. You know, the other thing that we can improve on is what the bylaws say for the betterment of our entire community, not based just on, you know, property ownership or whatever. You know, being invested into this community means coming in volunteering, people coming in volunteering, and volunteering cannot be measured based on how much time you put in, but the intent on what you're trying to do. You know, if it's for the community, it's always good. If it affects and it benefits our entire community, yeah, I'm always for it. You know, if it does benefit only a few or a select few, then I would have to think twice about, you know, decisions that are made.
Thank you. Anybody else have a question for Roy?
Yeah, Roy, what skills and abilities do you have that are going to benefit our board?
I come from 18 years experience in construction. So being able to take care of the roadside or construction side of any project that we do, I have 18 plus years experience in that field. So part of it, get the pavement running under guide. And if I can't do it, then I'll find right directions and avenues that we can do to make projects that we do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else with a question?
Pretty well answered mine.
Okay. All right, guys. Oh, you have another question?
Well, is that all the candidates?
Yes, I believe that was all of I was aware of.
Why the motion to vote, Roy Clee as an associate member was done when the board was not fully constituted with 9 members rather than just,
Because we don't have to.
that's not stated in the Bible.
In the bylaws, it says when there's a vacancy, you can vote even without a quorum.
Vote even without a quorum. Okay, I'll take a look. Thank you.
It's in a section on vacancies. I can't remember the number.
Article 5, section 5.
Okay, thank you. You have
Well, no, I mean, the bylaws also state that, the vote can be made by the majority of the board members at the meeting.
okay, so, oh, yes. Oh.
No.
State your name real quickly so we can get it. Okay, thank you.
Just wanted to ask if you had, Roy has
Access to QuickBooks?
and who actually does have firmly access to our QuickBooks. Was my personal information. I'm very particular about who has access to it, and actually honestly don't feel comfortable for Roy to have access to my personal information.
Okay, he's answered your question. Okay.
So you said no.
That's one quick question.
Well, she did. I'm going to follow up with. She asked the second one, but I'll give you a minute in a minute. And so you also asked who does have access. Okay.
Last meeting I was here, Roy, you did mention that you do have access to it. Because it was spoken that Maria has access to QuickBooks. And that nobody else has the password, but that you would have access to the password if she was, injured or had some kind of emergency. That is on record. So we can look back to that.
Okay,
That was
we
spoken.
can.
That's why I'm bringing this question up.
And so this may not be what you're looking for, but I also have access. I have look-only access, not editor access. Okay. All right, and Felix.
On the QuickBooks, what does it have? A name, address?
Yeah, balances owed or, yeah, essentially. I mean, everything else is what you find on the county, right?
That's what I'm asking. What personal information is on? I mean, I don't know because I didn't give the board any extra personal information. So I'm wondering what personal, that's not on the TMK. The TMK has your mailing address. It has what you owe, what you paid. So
Your payment history would be revealed.
So I'm trying to see what this QuickBook, what personal information, other than your phone number.
Your payment history.
There's our accounting code.
So that's the personal.
Some of that, yeah. Whatever we do internally here, it won't show.
Because everybody keeps saying personal. I want to know what personal information is up, but besides the bill.
Layla?
I know we've been having QuickBooks issues, and it is really unfortunately got, I think, over 150 bills that were not received. I did not receive mine in the mail. I went into the office not once but twice to change my mailing address. I did try to change it with the state, but they, of course, it's so hard with our physical and mailing. I don't have a bill with my new mailing address, all this stuff. So the point is, we definitely need a system of QuickBooks that people can go and say, this is my mailing address, and not just take it from the TMK record.
Okay. I do believe we're once more getting a field here. This section of our meeting, we're supposed to be selecting our new people to be joining the board. And I do feel we've kind of gone out into the weeds a little here. So unless this has to do directly with the 5 candidates that we've discussed, I would like to continue that part of the meeting. Is yours, don't make it just stretch. Okay.
I want to bring it up because it's something that Roy said at the road committee meeting. And so it does kind of speak to his standing.
Okay.
He did say in the road committee meeting Wednesday that QuickBooks is hooked up to the TMK or hooked up to the county records. And that's
Sure, imports in information from it perhaps, right?
specialist. I do actually work for a software company. So what he's saying is incorrect because we called the county and they do not have an API. An API is what plugs into your software.
I think you probably misspoke. Didn't mean hooked up, but that's where we derive when somebody says, when we need to find out the address of somebody, that's where we look. And I think, Roy, correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't mean hooked up as electronically, but that would be where we would go to get the latest information on property ownership.
Right. But if someone gave a change of address,
Then you would update it.
then it would update. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of member complaints that that's not happening.
okay.
That's all.
Yeah, okay. So, at this point, guys, we're gonna move on to selection. Just so everybody, I'm gonna remind everybody, we do not have to select anybody. The old bylaws used to say we had to select them at the next meeting. We found that to be unrealistic. If no candidates were there, we were starting to just have to appoint somebody out of the blue. And so we do appreciate that when the community passed and revised bylaws in 2024. Okay, that did allow us to take that to other meetings if we were not prepared to appoint candidates to fill spots. Do I have a motion? We have 5 wonderful people who want to serve, who are willing to serve. Do we have any motions for anybody to fill one of those seats now? Would this board like to act on this, any of this today? Yes,
I
Hank.
would like to nominate Roy Kalubi.
Okay,
I do believe, I may be out of line on this, but it says in the bylaws that, the names should be submitted to the board in alphabetical order. I don't know that he would be the first one on that, but.
or, oh boy. Okay, you know what I'm going to do here is I must honor the board, but what I will remind the board right now is that if we're going to look at Roy seriously for that, I'd like to not fill one seat and return to Roy perhaps next meeting. I do believe that information found in the executive session, which I've asked for today, may cause us to look at things more closely and differently. It may not, but I want you guys to have all the information before we make that decision involving Roy in a seat. Okay, that's.
I withdraw my.
Oh, okay, okay. And anybody else have a nomination they'd like to make, a motion they'd like to make for one of our nominees? Yes. Like to nominate Julia. Do we have a second from the board that would like to nominate Julia? Okay, we have Patti, and so therefore I call the vote from this board. All in favor of having Julia fill, and we should probably designate which seat she would be filling because they have
We could do
different
it
times.
afterward.
Okay, we'll have to, yeah, just because I'll admit, don't have those sitting in front of us. So, I have a second. All in favor of Julia Mitchell filling one of our vacant seats, please so indicate. If you wish, by the way, I was just showing how to indicate. Either way I voted, doesn't matter. The majority carries. Julia, welcome to the board. And you can even take a seat immediately if you so wish. As we stare at you. Okay. Now, guys, I would like to reserve one seat to go to next meeting's vote. So if we, if you guys believe otherwise, you certainly can outvote me, but that's my recommendation.
A motion that we reserve, excuse me, we reserve one position until the next meeting.
Okay. Do I have a second? Yes, you can vote. We want to leave one seat vacant until next board meeting. And
Second that one.
okay, all in favor of that, and because I suggested it, I will have to vote. Okay, all right, then we will possibly then fill only one more seat today. Do I have a motion of one of our nominees that somebody would like to bring forward for this last remaining seat? I would like to nominate. Oh, no, I won't. Layla, okay. Very good. And I will second because I was going to go for that as well. All right. All in favor of Layla serving to fill our last remaining seat for this meeting? Okay, then we have Layla. Well, we may have shot ourselves in the foot with that one. Okay.
I'll still record.
Okay, record and all that. We'll have to work on that in the near future. Okay, guys, then I get to, normally our secretary does this, so if I could have you two, please take a moment, maybe give Benjamin your laptop a moment. And please stand and right here in the middle in front of everybody. You can even face the audience because there's more of them than there are us. And raise your hand, your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name. A duly elected or appointed director of the association a duly, you know what? I'm just going to read through this and you guys say yes. Okay. Because nobody wants to hear this 3 times. A duly elected or appointed director of the association do solemnly swear and do hereby affirm as follows. I will always act within the scope of my authority as a director and in the best interest of the association and the Fern Acres community. I will be sensitive to individual differences, respectful of dissenting opinions, and cooperative in implementing the will of the majority of the board. In the event that I cannot faithfully fulfill my duties as a director, I shall submit my resignation from the board, or perhaps to the board. In the event I violate any of these provisions of my oath of office, I understand that I can be suspended or removed from my duties as a director. Well, I don't know how to say it. If you agree, so state.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, thank you. Then this board recognizes this on this day of, oh, and you can lower your hand. On this day of, what are we at, March 21st?
Correct.
March 21st, 2026. Welcome to the board, guys.
Thank you. Thank you all.
It isn't as much fun as it looks like.
I know.
The pay shut.
And the pay really isn't it either. Okay. Thank you guys for your willingness to serve, and thank you everybody for your support of these candidates. What's that?
Yeah, I just like we rush into it right now. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that.
Mhm.
Are they members? Are they it's there.
Incidentally enough, we vetted everybody before this meeting this time.
Okay.
The ones we knew of.
Let's
The
not
ones
just-
we knew of, okay? And the only one that we weren't sure of was Roy doing this or not. But I think we've certainly covered Roy's
just
membership.
sure. I was like, it's kind of rushing. It's like, did we even actually vet the people? That's what we got in trouble in the first.
Thank you. Yeah, this time we did. Yeah, every now and then we can get it right. All right. Okay. I wasn't certain if I saw a hand raised over here, so I'm giving you. Okay. Then I'm going to move on here, guys. Woo! That was the longest presence report I have done in any meeting. Okay, we do not have a treasurer, so at this time, with this board constituted such as it is there a motion to appoint a new, or maybe I should better ask, is there a member of this board that would like to put their name forward to become the new treasurer of our association?
I will.
Okay, anybody else put their names forward? Okay, and so you don't get a vote on yourself for this one, so I'm going to ask the rest of the board, do I have a nomination to accept Julia Mitchell as our treasurer? I do, is over here. Okay, that's Christi, is that? Do I have a second?
I will second.
Okay, all in favor of Julia Mitchell being our it looks pretty unanimous that she was motion, so welcome and all the trappings and prestige that come with it. Okay, thank you, everybody. So that being the case, and I know you are not prepared for this, but just to check mark it on our list, this is where the treasurer's report would normally come in. Don't credits, of course. Okay, do we have any of the treasurer's information that we can share today? Has that been prepared? I didn't see it. Okay, so I will have to ask Maria where that's at later. Okay, then moving on to the audit committee. Just so you guys know, this came up recently, and so kind of a procedural thing a lot of people don't realize. Committee meetings aren't necessarily public. The chairman can choose to make it public, but it isn't necessarily because there's not a quorum of the board at any of our committee meetings. Therefore, open meeting laws don't apply, okay? And, however, we sometimes, that committee chair may say, come and see what we have going on. If that happens, guys, the intent is to conduct business at that committee meeting specifically to their task assigned. And if any of the disruptions cause those things not to occur, the chair can then stop the meeting, close it, and not invite people back to the next one. So that's just, sometimes we've gotten a little lost on that one. And so the audit committee, that occurred. Our audit committee chair is functionally the treasurer, okay, that we've done. And then the auditors themselves are not members of this board usually, okay? They can be, just not officers. And so I'm going to leave you alone on that and let you start stewing over when you'd like to finally run an audit, okay? So there it is, another one of your list to dos. Yes.
All these other meetings, and you said, or I want to know, are they supposed to take minutes? These other committees?
Usually they do, yes. I know the ones I have sat in have taken minutes. That one, I don't know. I haven't, because I've never seen minutes from there, but I'm not saying they don't, okay?
Since they're,
I know there's notes taken, but actual minutes, I'm not so sure on. Roy, you've been doing it for the last couple of years. Are there minutes taken? Okay. What's that? That is, we probably can if, I will visit with our road committee chair afterwards and,
spend the bulk of the money, right?
you're right. They are the majority of the money.
Minutes show decisions are made, who made them.
Yeah. And on the good side, that committee has always been open to the public, okay?
And also the report to the board afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Which they do make it every,
showing.
Sure.
Right.
sure,
Other
yeah, we
minutes-
acknowledge that. It's
Minutes
just,
are in order.
we are showing where some of the slack had been picked up, okay? Roy, you wanted to add to that?
I was directed by the board that if it's in the budget, that I don't have to report to the board technically, but I've always made it a point to at least let the board know how monies are getting spent so that there is transparency between the committee and the board. And if anybody willing to step up and take minutes, come see me after the meeting and you guys can be the transcript for the meeting.
Okay, that is true. I mean, they are volunteers. I cannot cause people to do it when it's not a job description within that committee.
Have we just recorded?
Well, I think they often do, yeah,
Our
yeah,
meetings have been recorded.
which,
I'm for you.
As a volunteer of the community, I've been coming to the road meetings and recording and taking notes, just like all of this meeting, board meetings and road meetings.
okay, sounds like that may already be occurring. I saw some hands and comments, but I don't know that I grabbed them. Okay. George,
I wanted to talk about in general the transcripts and the minutes. I'm concerned with the ways that the minutes are being recorded, and there are things that are significant that take place in the meeting that are being left out of minutes. I know that for months, there's been talk of going to more of a transcript of an AI listening and recording. And then that way there can be no shenanigans. It won't be just a summary. It will be detailed. And we might have to change the way that we, run things. We might have to get a microphone or something, but I believe the answer to all of it is to figure out how we can get an AI listening and transcript all the minutes for every meeting that we want transcript. And we can release them publicly if you want them, or put them on the website, or have them available. But I think that it's the only way that everybody will feel safe that the information that's being recorded is actually the things that are being talked about. Because I personally know there's been issues mentioned at meetings that are not recorded in notes. And I know everybody votes on them but the reality is your average residents who work and go have a life don't have time to skim through all the minutes every month and make sure that it's all accurate and go back and watch the video and then come make their vote. So I just feel like the best way to move forward is to take it out of people's hands, which oftentimes are volunteers, they're unskilled, they're untrained, and put it in a technical format so that we don't have to worry about the details anymore.
thank you, George. And Brian, I see your hand up.
The secretary position on the AI reporter, 2 months ago, I believe, Claudia, this last month.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, you guys can see she's not with us today, but thank you, Brian, for that awesome donation.
David, we are recording with the recording on a iPhone when you're doing a voice memo has an entire transcript of everything that's recorded already, just saying.
So awesome. Well, guys, I'd like to move off the audit committee. I mean, sometimes we go afield here. We'd like our next portion of the meeting is to the road committee. Now, just so you guys know, the position of the road committee chair is not one that we can keep vacant for very long. Otherwise, well, our road crew just stops. Okay, and so I have asked Roy to continue in that duty. I realize that, you guys can all see the check marks aren't all made, but the roads don't stop either. Okay. The potholes still got to be filled. All that still has to be done. So I've asked Roy, and he's graciously accepted that even though he is not on the board any longer, that he will continue to serve in that until we find someone that we want to or can replace him with. So Roy, this is time for the road committee to make a statement as far as what you guys have going on.
What is, this is, was it
Road committee chairman. Yeah, chairman still. He retained that when it's acting. Okay, that's going to be the title, is acting. And when he resigned or didn't resign last meeting, or when he was dismissed or didn't dismiss, there was never a question that he still wasn't the road committee chair. And so, well, that's why he's acting now. And I've asked him to serve in that, and he's consented until we find the next one. Thank you, Roy. Go ahead.
Okay, so we never have enough road committee members on Wednesday, so it wasn't a quorum, but we still had a meeting between residents and those on the committee that were there. So we talked about the numbers on the polls, which, it was stated that, people were like, just go out there and do them. But as the road chairman, I said no. So I suggested that we spread the roads, just like Felix has brought out, because we own the roads. The fact that we need numbers somewhere so that our emergency vehicles can locate full numbers, because like I've stated before, our subdivision is one of the few subdivisions that reference our geographical spot or our geographical address based on phone numbers. And I've experienced it, and I'm pretty sure other residents in this community have experienced seeing emergency vehicles driving back and forth, and you kind of go out there and they're like, oh, we're looking for, so we know who that is. So we're like, okay, couple poles down, right there on the right or left hand side. If we do spread those numbers on the road, as long as it's bright enough where everybody can see them. Eden Rock has it in every intersection, and you can just reference what road you're on based on the number. So we can do the same with the numbers on the road. I've been approached by a few people that was willing to donate their time, go out there and spray these the stencils that was made for free are from the treasure, and they're willing to go out there, spray the roads, donate paint, whatever. So
How big are those stencils?
6-inch number,
6 inch. Okay.
but it's not big enough, but something is better than nothing.
Yeah. And a lot of times, if everybody is in the same way as I am, when it's dark and raining, I usually can't see the numbers anyway at night, but I can see usually what's in front of my headlights.
Just to stay well within the scope of not being liable if something does happen if you spray the poles. I've had members or people in the community that did say, give them the stencils and I think they're gonna go do them on their own. And I said no, because that's not what we do.
Felix, you kept raising your hand over here. What else would you like to say?
About this stuff, because if you're so worried about, emergency vehicles finding your places, you're the homeowner. Be responsible. Put your numbers on front of your house. I have reflective numbers in front of my house. Why is it the association, everybody else's responsibility to make your house visible for emergency? If you're so worried about it, put numbers in front of your house.
Thank
Put
you.
reflective numbers.
Yeah. Thank you.
The only
Right, hold on, it's Julia.
Well, I mean, I agree with Felix, and I have my numbers in front of my house as well. My question is, Eden Rock, which I own property in Eden Rock, has much more, many more roads than we do and more intersections. So how many poles are between like Puhala and what is the first road, Rose? The road?
The first one,
Like,
yeah.
how many poles are in between? I mean, because it doesn't make much
About
sense,
20.
you know what I mean? How many?
It's about 20.
Yeah, I mean, so Eden Rock, it's, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down. So I mean, not only would we have to have it on the intersection,
Yeah,
we have to have it like in between if people are going to be able to really having that much difficulty.
I just want to speak to the situation and I'm gonna cry because as of tomorrow, my neighbor right behind me died of a heart attack. And while I had called 911 and his other best friend was giving him CPR, the dispatcher said, leave your phone with him. Can somebody run out and wait for the ambulance to show up? Because we didn't know what pole he was at. And he had numbers in front of his house and I have numbers in front of my house. But if the GPS goes down or you don't have, there's spots in this neighborhood where signals don't get through. Even with the best, a lot of money you pay every month for your phone and everything else, and you can't get through. And he died because they did not get there fast enough. I had to run out on my bad knee, 800 feet to the road and wait for a horrible 15 or I don't know how many minutes, but every second that was going by was the other person was left alone doing the chest compressions with my phone while I stood there waiting for the ambulance to show up. And I don't ever want to have to go through that again. And I don't want anyone here to. And he had numbers in front of his house, but guess what? The neighbors, I didn't know him. He lives behind me. And our poles don't match up from Hibiscus to, 102 is not the same location. And we're all depending on the internet for all of this stuff now. And I'm just telling you, when the power goes out and the shit comes down, excuse my French, we can't count on that guidance. And neither can the first responders.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me.
Yeah, no, please do.
Been bugging me for a freaking year, and every time I drive by at night, a pole and can't see a damn thing. So, and I've had that property since 1980.
Yeah.
I didn't live here this whole time, but
So I'm gonna go Roy, then Patty, then Brian. Please help me remember the order. Go ahead, Brian.
So the problem that we get in our subdivision is not everybody on address. If you get a vacant lot, you're not gonna get assigned on address until you put into a permit with the county property tax office. So like a lot of times, even if we get one address, they're gonna ask you what is your address, but the EMTs, some EMTs ask for the number, what phone number you live at, because easier for them to get one phone number. It's more exact than an address because if you go on them and you Google map them, from Eden Rock, our Burn Road over there is a road for coming to our subdivision, which is not, but it's there, so if we do have the numbers and people willing to donate the paint and the time to go out there and do them, the only thing that we would have to decide is where on the road we're gonna place those numbers. If it's in front of the pole, in the middle of the road, just so that would be more visible to everybody and even the emergency vehicles can see those numbers driving down the road.
Okay, Patty Pinto.
Mine is a slightly different topic. I would like to request of the road committee that we spend some time this year replacing signage that's missing. And the signs where the letters have just disappeared. And really, let's invest in some stop signs and other signage that I know they get hit by cars and then time goes by and we don't replace them, but I think we need to do that.
Is that currently in your budget, Roy?
Yeah, we get $1,000 a year budget for signing.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. I didn't hear a motion, so I'm moving on.
We don't need one.
Response time from the ambulances has absolutely nothing to do with. I mean, it takes an ambulance at the best 12 minutes to get here.
Oh, that's pretty good.
From the fire station.
Oh.
If that ambulance is out on a call, our next ambulance comes from Volcano, which is they're a good 20 minutes. It takes them 5 minutes to get out of the park.
Thank you.
for their safety. I mean,
Yeah.
I personally waited for them on a scene, and it seems like forever. Yeah, I mean, Felix was there on that scene. It seems like it's forever for them to get here. And it was from station 19, so it took them 20 minutes.
Thank you,
I
Brian.
do agree with painting the numbers somewhere because it is a pain in the butt to find a poll number. In the middle
Okay.
of the night.
Thank you. And George?
I was just gonna
Then
say,
you, Christi.
logistically, I know we have a few complaints or concerns, I should say, that if we put them in the road, the cars will drive over them and wear them off right away. If we put them in the middle of the road, there's less traffic in the middle of the road, and so it should last longer.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Thank you, Christi.
Just an FYI, if you are having a medical emergency, ask dispatch to dispatch the volunteer. We are all CPR certified and we can definitely help. We can definitely be there.
Somebody's available at 11:30 in the morning, yes. And
Yeah.
it's
How would you do
15,
that?
16.
When they're on 911, just say, can you dispatch Fern Acres volunteer to come help with CPR?
Okay,
Say, we're elderly, we can't do it or whatever.
that's really good to know.
It may change nothing depending upon where we're all at, but it may change everything. So, okay, we've had a wonderful discussion here. I hope I got everybody's hands up that I got you to say something. Board, out of everything you've heard, out of this discussion, does anyone have a motion they wish to make?
I don't think I need one.
I do have one. I'm hoping someone else picks up on it. I'd like to. Go
I have
ahead.
one more request that I be able to purchase, cold mix so that the road crew can continue patching our road.
Okay, and is that in your current budget? Okay. Do we have any problem with him spending money on cold mix to do that?
There should be no problem, and even according to the minutes of the last meeting, the motion that was passed, to stop all work and spending until we got a new road committee chairman, We have a road committee chairman.
Sure.
So actually this is moot now. It's been taken care of.
Understood, but if no one on the board has any objections to them continuing to spend money on things they already have budgeted, then Roy, continue. So what I'd like to do is refer back to road committee so that, because you guys can all come to the road committees and share, many of you have, okay? And so that they can come up with the placement and perhaps even still the size of where they're going to put those numbers. I don't know that we here up here need to make and haggle that decision. So that's what I like to do is and no one else picked up, and I make a motion that we refer the stenciling of the polls back to road committee, who will then bring that forward next meeting with what they recommend. Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor of that? Okay, it passes unanimously. Thank you. All right, Roy, I see your hand going up. Do you have something you want to
I
add?
have one more thing as far as the cluster boxes. I was just waiting for the postmaster up here at the at the Mountain View post office will get back to me the yes or no on those cluster boxes. So
Yeah, you and I had talked about it some 6-8 months ago. What was the price that they came up with? We may have to contribute to get those installed.
according to the post office, we would have to port the bill for the actual cluster boxes installation. And then from there, we would have to pay the salary for the federal worker from the post office to come over here and stuff the boxes, and on security, almost like 16-hour security just so that people not busting up our cluster boxes.
Yeah, so
Which at that point, we can, send as many letters as we want in the residents in the quickest, easiest way without people not being able to receive their mail or invoices or letters, because the cluster boxes will be right outside the gate.
And so for clarity, when we spoke about this, we figured out just the installation alone was a little over $100,000 at that time. That's what we had anyway. Something like that. Okay.
You stuff unstamped mail in a federal box. No, you have to still stamp it. It's still gonna be money to mail, yeah? Or no? Answer me, I don't know.
It sounds like it, yeah, but
I don't.
Probably, but if we coordinate with the contractor that is contracted to do that out there, then they can shuffle. Which wouldn't give.
They'd have to be
which wouldn't
postage.
cover. That's why they gotta be federally, they gotta be federally hired from the, however we gotta do them, we just gotta do. You know, my concern right now is getting the cluster boxes out here, and I just waiting for the call. If they say yes or no, then we can move forward. You know, worrying about what we gotta do for get whatever we need in those boxes. It's a technicality and something that we should worry about after we get the cluster boxes in. Right now, our concern should be getting those cluster boxes installed out here once we get the approval for put those cluster boxes out.
some other comments, Vivian?
That some of us wouldn't use the cluster boxes. We have post office boxes, so our bills still, I mean, it kind of don't.
It would be a sub,
One
it would be a
or the other.
subscription.
Yeah, it'd be a subscription, much like your post office box might be. And,
Where's the location for these cluster boxes?
undecided.
Undecided right now, I mean.
If we ever get
originally, they were
serious.
supposed to be by that bus stop as soon as you turn in on the Y.
Right, but we need area for that. You need area for cars to pull over. You need, I mean, so there's gotta be a lot of
So
planning.
my thought process behind that is we install the cluster boxes back there. This fence will move closer to the office. So everybody can access the parking lot where they can park, check their mail, in and out, you know, shouldn't be a problem. That's why we're gonna have at least 16 hours of security out here, you know, so that people are not messing with them or messing with the buildings or cruising around our facility.
So just so you guys understand, this is an idea that's still so much in the germination phase. Okay, and if we ever find a route that we can seriously do that, we will be bringing this to you guys. It's just right now we're kind of stamping out ideas. Go ahead, Mr.
I
Franco.
mentioned about 16-hour security. What would that cost every landowner? As far as,
Only subscribers.
Only subscribers have.
Yeah, only people that purchase or subscribe to these cluster boxes would be paid for them. So part of the rental fee would be will cover the wages of the federal person and for the security. So
That was part.
Okay.
My question is if we have cluster boxes here, does that cancel out everyone who has free mailboxes as a?
everybody has a choice. The cluster
Don't have a-
boxes out here
don't have any
are
impact.
based on who wants their mail to be sent here.
So, go ahead, Hank.
I have one question. You said the installation may cost up to 100,000. What would be the
If
cost
we had,
of maintaining them? And we have to hire a federal employee. Is there a cost estimate on what it's gonna cost to have this federal employee deliver the mail? Or what the bottom line cost that it's gonna cost us?
crunching some numbers with that. It'll cost about $86 to pay for the wage for the federal worker and the security. So everybody will probably pay something right around $86 a year.
And these would be the people that would be subscribing to this
Yes.
service would be the
So
one paying.
what would end up happening is we'll install cluster boxes as needed. You know, even though the whole thing would cost $100,000 to install for every person that lives in here, we install 250, and once those get close to being filled, then we move on and we install more and more as needed.
Okay, we are,
So 100,000 is a massive number. It's a big number if you look at it initially, but
go ahead.
So this $100,000, we all pay for that
Currently,
installation, even though we may not be subscribing.
we are so bringing this up right now is like, I don't know, bringing up 2032 elections. Okay. So far out that we are not, this is just something we're trying to look at feasibility. How, and then if it is feasible, how to make it that way. We are not ready for answering that yet because we don't have enough.
Subscriber base.
It's gonna all have to be subscriber based. Those that want them in the acres would be the ones that likely would have to somehow come up with that. But it's so far out. I'm afraid to even answer it because it's not, we have nothing yet. Projections, guesses, hopes, you know.
I just have one last comment, actually. When you are doing the research, Roy, I believe HPP did not pay for their mailboxes or the installation. If I remember correctly. Huh?
They had to come up with the property.
Yeah, they just bought the property, but the U.S. government, Postal Service paid
after
for.
talking to the U.S. Postal Service down at the airport, they said we would be responsible for installing and paying for those cluster boxes
Okay. Let,
It sounds like we're kind of talking about opening a mailing more right here, right?
yeah, so right now, guys, let's move on because there's not anything we bring up, it'd just be good nods and guesses. And okay, so I'd like to move on to the nominating committee. You know, guys, I don't know that we need to do much with that one right now because we just did all the nominating in the first half hour of this meeting. So I'm going to move right on to policy committee, and Patty, that's yours.
Okay, policy committee met, on March 12th, and we worked on, section 1, qualifications for membership, and section 5, associate membership, and we are meeting again, on the 25th at 6 o'clock.
Okay, yes.
Question, so, because I'm not sure of the whole process. So in the policy committee, when you make suggestions to make the changes to the policy, do the members vote on that, or is it automatically, entered?
It gets very complicated because it's not just like a simple yes, no. So, the last time this happened, we made an online survey where you could read all of the amendments and vote yes or no on each of them. Or you could pick up a paper ballot in the office if you couldn't get access to the online. And the voting takes place before the July meeting.
It's a member vote.
It is a member vote, says members of the association.
Okay, yeah, and just, just so there's no confusion, that's for bylaws. Okay, bylaw changes require member vote. All right. If it's policies and procedures that are working within the bylaws, they can't contradict them. Maybe like what the office hours would be. If we have one or two people that were all those kinds of things, policies and procedures, okay, that is going to be voted on first by the committee, which is then advanced to the board, and then you guys would all hear our discussion and conversation about policies and procedures before they pass. His hand was actually up first. I'm going to go over here. Felix.
These policies, you said only association members.
No, the bylaws.
Committee and all, everything else.
The bylaws are voted on by members of the corporation, the Fern Acres Community Association. If we have something that pertains to road maintenance costs, then it's voted by every property owner. And if it's something to do with policies, then that's voted on by the board exclusively.
There we go. Yep, go ahead.
But I just want to confirm that the bylaw to vote on is 2/3 of the voting population, which are members in good standing who pay the $35 fee.
Present, who vote. Because it's a written ballot. For instance, say there's 300 people who are members, we distribute ballots and 50 people vote. That's what we go with.
Well,
but thank you for that. So you're saying, and just to confirm and clarify on the record, you're saying the entire member in good standing, every person who paid $35, 2/3 of that has to vote yes for the bylaw to pass. Is that what you're saying?
It's a majority.
Is it majority? I see. Yeah.
There's a couple of things. I think special road fees require 2/3 membership. Special assessments, I think, is the only one that requires a 2/3. I'm speaking off the top of my head. I'm not sure.
So
We'll clarify it.
You're putting the notice on the website, right? And you pass out the ballots. And then, so what I'm asking is, if you got 10 ballots back, is it only 2/3 of the 10 that passes? Or is it all of the community, whether let's say there's 200 members in good standing, 2/3 of the 200?
It's a majority of the ballots received.
So are you sending?
If you send out 200 ballots and 10 people vote and 6 of them say yes, the majority takes it. It's not who determines. It's just like in elections. When candidates come up for ballots, it doesn't matter how many people are out there receiving the ballots. It depends on the people that are voting. And so it's the majority of the people who vote.
So let me clarify. All the votes that was received, 2/3 of all the votes that was received.
Not 2/3, majority.
Well,
I think it's a special assessment for road fees that requires a 2/3.
My
Well,
my question is it for the votes that were received? Not the whole entire.
It's for the votes that are received. We can't make people vote.
Okay, so guys, again, you know, we're talking about things that aren't in action at this point yet. We're talking, you know, and I realize it's good to have clarity and all of that, but you know, guys, we can do that. We can hammer over every bylaw. We can hammer over every procedure at this point, and we're not trying to do that right now. We present no bylaws for change today. We would not be able to do it by the bylaws at any rate. It would have to be done, it's defined at the annual meeting, special meeting, or we hold a special ballot that we mail out to everybody, okay? That's the only time. So we aren't asking for that at all at this point.
So important, it should be certified mail. They say they get it and they vote or not. But I don't even get my bill, so how do I know I got a ballot or not?
Okay.
Okay, I forgot what I was doing.
So important, it should be certified.
All right. Thank you, guys. Oh, okay.
I know that members can also bring forth bylaw changes if they
Mm-hmm.
would like. And in the bylaws, all they need is the 5 signatures and then the policy, you know, change request. And does that have to be submitted to the board within a
To
certain
the
time?
policy committee, and I would recommend doing that sooner rather than later, because we're going to be putting together the draft
So my question is, the board does not get to vote on that, correct?
On the
They-
bylaw changes?
on the ultimate change. They're recommending a change that still has to be voted on by the membership as a whole.
No, the question is, does the board get to look at it and say, oh, no, we don't want this one, but we want this one?
No,
Where do we send that to?
but I'm the policy committee chair, so you can send it to me. Or you can send it to Claudia
And
as secretary.
okay, moving on from policy committee, which by the way, that is the most discussion we've ever had for policy committee in months. Public safety. And I'm going to start off like I often do with our captain back here, fire department.
Started dispatching us to firefighters again.
I noticed.
Must have got enough letters from the surrounding, this community and surrounding, so they are dispatching us to car fires again. Other than that, our first monthly meeting got canceled because of the volcano. So
Can we submit to dispatch our availability so that fires only happen during that period of time? Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, anything else for fire department? Okay, how about neighborhood watch? Anybody here want to speak on their behalf that might sit there? Go ahead, Christi.
There was a big drug bust, I believe, on Hibiscus, and 3 people are still wanted. And all the crimes that were reported in this community were between known people. So JR stole my trash can.
Allegedly.
Right, so they don't consider him a risk because it was between known parties.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
That was an example.
Yes. For anybody who's dictating this. All right, so next would be CERT. What's her name? Claudia. Gosh, Claudia's not here. She normally makes the report, so I will go ahead and do so as a member of the CERT team. We couldn't do our training this last time. It was on Saturday in the middle of that storm, and we waited till last minute, but by that time all the power went out, and trying to get everybody's phones to work in the middle of the power, that's when you really realize that your communications plan wasn't what it should be. And so we had to cancel our meeting, kind of got mostly of the word out, still had at least one person come to the gate in the rain and figure out that it was canceled via locked gate. CERT has also been heavily involved in the recovery of the volcano action from the remaining of 41, but then 43 did it again to the people up there, a little bit to us too down here, but up there they once more some of them had it to the point that their tephra was mud and that water wasn't even hardly going through anymore on their systems. And so they required lots of effort. CERT has been up there for 6 total days, covering 4 to 8 hour shifts up there, helping people either get connected to services or direct in assistance. As far as the hub, who would like to speak on that? I'm a little less qualified on that one. Would you like to speak about our hub meeting? Anything that's noteworthy?
No, I mean, that was my first time meeting.
Okay.
I mean,
Then you know what? We'll just say we'll get that report to you next month. All right. And then next food. Oh, Roy wasn't there.
No, no.
Oh,
The
okay.
only thing I wanted to speak was on, because the guy did come over here while we was having our appliance drive.
Okay.
On the day the certain meeting supposed to happen. So we had our appliance drive, but rather than continue with our appliance drive, I stayed here and I sent the road crew out. We'll go clean up our roads. So they ended up cutting branches and trees out of people's driveways the entire time. You know, it's on Saturday. No work on Saturday. They came to volunteer their time. But I, as a road chairman, activated them to go out there and help people. So that's what they was doing for the next 3 days. So
You know, and presumably mostly the road crew, though I did see a few videos of even people who just rolled up sleeves and got to work.
Yeah.
And so I love that about our community. Claudia and I went and drove every mile of our community on Saturday afternoon. And then she went out again by herself on Sunday and just tried to look for where all the damage was and who might need help. And guys, it was incredible how quickly between the road crew and residents, people were cleaning up. I mean, the roads were open nearly the entire time without restriction. And I just want to tip my hat to all those who made that difference. So, okay, food pantry. Who can speak to that now that Joe's no longer here with us? Go ahead, Roy.
oh, there, we made 144 bags. 144 bags went in about an hour.
Wow.
So we was almost done by 11 o'clock.
Is there any discussion yet? Do you guys feel comfortable moving that scale up even further, or is that?
I think we only ended up turning away 4 people.
Mm,
A few of those people, a few of the volunteers that did sign up for bags, me for one,
mhm.
I ended up giving my bags to people, you know, because I felt that they needed them more than I did. So I
Sure.
ended up giving up, some of us ended up giving up our bags to those that did come.
Okay,
So we only had to turn away like 3 or 4 people.
thank
That was
you.
about it.
That's awesome.
But
So,
They
she's,
needed, oh, sorry.
question regarding the food that is passed out. Is that donated or is that purchased through a grant?
it's done through the food basket. So the food basket, wherever their source is, they bring it here. Yeah.
So Punamacaucau, the association, the 501c3 does not purchase the food.
No.
Oh, okay.
At times, community members will donate. We've had donations of various vegetables and, that they will bring themselves to just donate here. And so that's the other source. And so Layla was next.
I was just going to say thank you to Glenn Hughes for donating little fresh lettuce. We do have people in the neighborhood that donate fresh produce, so I just wanted to say thank
Well,
you.
Oh, hold on. And then back here.
That was just my
Okay.
thing was about the lettuce.
Okay, awesome. Back to you.
Since I know that Punamacaucau gets grants,
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering what the grants go towards.
Well, the grants are,
Or is it-
Storage, signage for, directing traffic. We're building a hand wash station so that the food people can wash their hands while they're getting frozen stuff all over. Yeah, it's just stuff and this and being able to drive through and like that.
yeah. Anyone who's worked with grants, you already know it's, when you file for a grant, it's earmarked to accomplish certain things. And food purchase has never been one of them. Yeah. Okay. Next is our annual picnic. Now, normally Claudia would go, we're not talking about that yet. So I think I'm going to say the same thing on her behalf, though we do need to get talking about it as the months advance closer to our July time. Do we,
I
Patty?
think we set a date. What was that?
It's July 19th.
July
Thank you. Yeah, July 19th.
July 19th.
All right, I didn't have that yet, so thank you.
I said at the last meeting.
Yeah.
So we should probably put that out there.
Give me a second while I add that and then, okay, perfect. Thank you. Moving on to the next item then is we're coming to the conclusion here, the members report. Just so you know, you may have seen this in action already. I then give each of the board members an opportunity to make a statement, bring up something that didn't fit otherwise in the meeting. And this is where they can accomplish that. Oh, Layla, you're new too. So I'm eyeballing you too when I say that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna start over here. Go ahead, Hank. Any report?
The only thing I wanted to make a comment on was at Wednesday at the road committee non-meeting, I was informed by the road committee chairman that we had some vandalism. Someone disabled one of our vehicles that we use for passing the roads. And so we need to keep an eye out for that. We will have to spend money now to fix that vehicle. That's fine.
I think we can all agree and make the statement that, regardless of where your stance is on the roads and how they're being done, vandalism of any kind, any illegal activity like that, I think we can all unanimously, both committee and community, condemn that, and so I, in the most vigorous terms, want that recorded, that we condemn actions like that. There's other ways. You guys have seen how to do that. There's other ways to make change, and it doesn't have to be with a sharp knife and a fuel line. Okay, thank you. Roy, anything? I saw your hand go up, but yeah, okay, back over here. At this point, guys, not looking for a whole lot of comment from residents. Just this is a chance to give these guys their last chance to speak. Okay, Patty.
Emergency preparedness. Every household that's prepared for an emergency is not becoming a drain on our first responders. So it is our personal obligation to be ready for an emergency. I thought I was ready, but can you find that stuff in the dark during a storm? So think about what you've done in order to prepare yourself and make sure it's in order, because we don't know when the power is going to go out. And every family that's prepared can then help their neighbors better and not be a draw on first responders.
Thank you. Julian?
The only thing I have watching the road committee meeting earlier this week and knowing that there's like member at large spots open, but there haven't been enough board members to attend to vote residents in on that. I think that should be like a priority, like to make it whole again.
Yeah. Very good. And Christi?
I remember in November, I think it was November or October, that we talked about the mulch pile and the tire drive and the appliance drive, and that nobody is to come in with those items unattended, that they needed a board member to be here to watch them dump their mulch or whatever they're dumping. When I waited one of the numerous times in the last week to pay my bill, I saw 3 different people come with green waste and unlock the gate themselves and go back and dump, and then come out and lock the gate back up. These are not board members. I knew one of the people, but I didn't know the other 2 people at all. So that concerns me, that the gate code is being given out to people to just come and go as they please. And maybe that's how vandalism has occurred.
Perhaps, yeah. Leila?
One thing I didn't get to mention was I know there's been a lot of discussion and want for a community market here. And I know that there's been discussion about if we need permits and things for that. If we call it a farmer's market, it is something as a newly appointed board member, I would like to help try to make happen. I know we have a lot of amazing producers here in the community, and I'd like to put my money or my goods into trade with that. So.
I think Patti has started work on that.
So yeah, I just want to put it out there. I know there's been a few people who have been wanting to make that happen, and so I would be willing to try to help organize that, and let's make it a reality.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. At this time, we're
You have to bring it up during the audit thing. Inconsistent office hours.
well, we're working on it. Okay, that's all I can give you, because this board passed by appointment only. Now it takes policy and procedures to go through and change the policy, recommend them, bring them back to the board, and the board to vote again. Okay. Sure, I understand. So okay, guys, we kind of had lots of open discussion earlier. No, that's fine, man. Felix, I get it, dude. Which one's this one? Okay. You know what? Start by emailing me, okay? And so I'm just going to give my email address real quickly, and I hope, I just hope anyone who cares, that's pretty open. It's my name, John, John, at paikuli.com. Paikuli. Yeah, just like it. Paikuli, paikuli.com. All right, guys. You bet, everybody. We are at this time going to go and do our executive session in Stinky Room back there. And, everybody's welcome to stay. So you guys understand procedure with executive session. If the first 15 minutes we discover we need more time, we can only increase it in 15-minute blocks. And so I will come out usually and say, we got to go another 15 minutes, and we can only do that 2 additional times maximum. Okay. And then after that, we must adjourn and, well, not adjourn, but come back here and then either continue the meeting or adjourn the meeting at that point. Everybody's welcome to stay and wait, though.
So we don't get to hear what was discussed in executive.
Oh, heavens, no. Yeah. There's no vote that would ever be taken. Yeah. So, well, I did give the general blurb at the beginning because I have to give a justification for executive session. So that has been recorded already, both by whatever that AI thing is. Oh, you want me to repeat? Okay. It's going to be discussing legal action in regards to Fern Acres bylaws and policy and procedures. So, yeah, and because it is a legal action and that could, that we're in the middle of working with attorneys on that, we just can't have too much public involvement yet.
And also in the executive session, that's where we would discuss salaries, individual salaries. We wouldn't come out and say, so-and-so's getting this, or if you came forward and asked to establish a payment plan or to have some part of your fee forgiven, those kinds of things never go public.
Or sometimes if somebody's asking for relief from interest on their bill, if they have a lien or have prior payments, if they can, I ask for
Apparently there's more
sometimes
than one
ask for
sign-in
relief
sheet.
from interest on it.
That's fine.
Fine, so on it.
So,
That's that.
so guys,
That's all
executive session will start at 11:05 in 1 minute. Gives us time to go up there.
I'll
And
need
then
1
that'll
minute
run
to
for
get up
15.
there.
Okay, executive session at 11:06. Give us 2 minutes for some of us to make it.
Oh, I've been sitting too long.
My motion. Do I have a second for that motion? I hope it's clear. Okay, so I have a second and third over here. And just, is somebody recording these motions? No. Okay.
Yeah, could you restate the motion? I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure. The motion is that we're referring to Policy and Procedures Committee, the hours and the positions and responsibilities of the front office employees. Certain that wasn't my first wording, but same spirit. And then the motion was by JR, seconded and third. Well, seconded, I don't know who was first between Juliet and Christi. Okay. All in favor of doing that? Of course, I made the motion, so obviously I get to. So it looks like unanimous at this point. Okay. I do believe we have one more piece of business. Yeah, I like that one.
I'll second that one.
All right, all in favor?
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah. All right, everybody, thank you.